Welcome to the Empowered Entrepreneur, where strategy meets soul and leadership means more than just your job title. Now, if you're a fractional director or thinking about stepping into a fractional career, this is for you. So let's dive in. Now, a fractional sales director or chief revenue officer, as they're sometimes called, don't get onboarding. They get expectations, and that's the trap. You see, you're brought on with a real sense of urgency. There's pressure to perform immediately. You're handed a sales target and maybe a messy pipeline, and you're expected to figure it all out. Now, it's not that founders are ungrateful, it's that they often don't know how to properly engage a strategic partner. You see, they assume experience means immediate results. But experience without context isn't leverage, it's friction. And as we all know, friction kills momentum. You see, as a fractional CRO, you have to onboard your clients. Now, let's be clear, this is your responsibility. Most companies don't have a process for bringing on fractional leaders. They assume because you're experienced, you'll just plug in and immediately deliver. But if you don't set expectations from the onset, don't lead your own onboarding, you'll spend your first month chasing clarity instead of creating progress. So your client onboarding process needs to be included. You need to have a defined kickoff with a clear roles, expectation, reporting and communication flow. Structured discovery with all the key stakeholders and an honest audit of the current sales engine, people, processes and sales performance. You need to have shared KPIs with timeframes and accountability. This is how you avoid confusion. This is how you avoid wasted energy. And that's how you take control. And now let's talk about systems. Here's what you'll find more often than not when you're landing a client. There's a CRM in place, but it's not integrated with the rest of the business. It's siloed. It doesn't speak to finance. It doesn't connect to marketing in a meaningful way. It doesn't provide the kind of joined up reporting that allows you or the board to truly understand your contribution. And without that clarity, you're left managing perception rather than in providing impact. Now, everyone talks about ROI, return on investment, but let's be honest, most people don't really know what it means in a sales or business development context. It's fashionable to mention, but it's rarely measured properly. You see, ROI isn't just about revenue. It's about time. It's about efficiency. It's about alignment. It's about whether your strategy is actually reducing costs of acquisition or just masking inefficiency with effort. And here's the thing, there isn't a business on this planet that doesn't have a cost of acquisition. But when you step in as the fractional sales lead, trying to get all the clients' ducks in a row, from systems to messaging to team accountability, this cost is often conveniently forgotten. You're trying to mobilize both strategy and campaign, while also papering over the cracks in operations, analytics, and alignment. And if you're not careful, you end up carrying the weight of the entire commercial engine of the organization without the authority to fix the parts that are broken. That's why onboarding isn't just about introducing yourself. It's about diagnosing the business. What decisions have led to the current state of play? What technology stack is working and what's just getting the noise? Where is the attribution broken? Where is the marketing misaligned? What does the board think success looks like? And what does it actually cost to get there? You see, you can't lead strategy unless you understand the system. And most sales systems are patchworks of old tools, half-used platforms and well-meaning but disconnected tactics. And you can't build clarity on top of chaos. Now, let's shift to mindset. So many fractional leaders approach their role like a service provider. How can I be more helpful? Where can I add value? What do they need from me? But here's the truth. You're not there to fill a gap. You're there to reshape the game. When you frame yourself as a service, you'll always be reactive. But when you lead with value, strategic value, you change how the business sees sales itself. You're not selling hours. You're not managing outputs. You're defining direction. You are the product. Your clarity, your standards, your unwillingness to play small just because you're not full-time. That's what builds trust. That's what delivers change. And that's what delivers ROI in its truest form. Meaningful, measurable returns on the decisions you help make. Fractional is not freelance. Freelance is about output. Fractional is about ownership. That means you define how you start. You structure the process. You don't just accept the mess. You reorganize it into momentum. Listen, the market is shifting. Fractional leadership is growing, but only those who treat it like a craft with processes, disciplines, and real commercial understanding will truly thrive. So build your own onboarding, challenge lazy thinking around ROI, and don't let disconnected systems or unclear expectations pull you off your mission. Thanks for tuning in to The Empowered Entrepreneur. If this landed with you, like it or share it with someone who's thinking about a leap into fractional leadership. And make sure you're building your career on purpose, not just reacting to the next opportunity. Lead with clarity, lead with purpose, and you're guaranteed to make an impact. See you next time.